All right, what's going on, everybody? Hopefully you're all doing well and having yourselves a very, very fantastic day. My name is Jason Joseph. This, of course, is Play-by-Play with JJ. We're on for another Phillies game tonight. It's a big series coming up for the Phils as they take on the New York Mets. More to get into with that, but here we go. Let's get into the live stream right now. Let's get into the starting lineup. So for the New York Mets, it'll be Lindor batting in the leadoff spot. Then you got Vientos playing over at third base, and he'll be batting second in this lineup tonight. Brandon Nimmo is playing out in left field and will be batting fourth. And right behind him, it is Pete Alonso, who is batting in the cleanup spot in this game. Jesse Winker is the DH for the Mets tonight and will be batting fifth. Tyrone Taylor gets the start out in right field and will be hitting sixth in the order for the Mets. And right behind him, it'll be, Jose Iglesias is batting sixth. Then it's Tyrone Taylor batting seventh. And right behind him will be Francisco Alvarez, who is batting eighth in the lineup and catching behind the plate. And Harrison Bader is batting in the ninth spot. This season he is hitting .243 and will be playing out in center field for this game. All right, so Lindor is going to be batting in the leadoff spot and hitting over on the left side of the plate. All right, so once again, it's Lindor, Vientos, Nimmo, Alonso, Winker, Iglesias, Taylor, Alvarez, and Bader. And that is the lineup for the Mets. All right, so the Phillies are in their City Edition uniforms. Last time that they'll be wearing those. And the pitch. And there's a strike call just on the outside corner. All right. Let's change this. Good stuff. Phillies are 88 and 58 at home as the 0-1 is taken up high for a ball. And that's going to make the count now 1-1. Aaron Nola this season is on the bump. This is his 30th start. He has a 12-7 record. He's looking for his 13th win and has a 3.41 ERA. And the 1-1 pitch, and there's a bouncing ball. It's fouled. Also, 45 walks allowed on the season. And the guy that he's facing, Francisco Lindor, is a .268 average, 31 homers, and 85 RBI. He's an MVP candidate in the National League. All right, so Nola will get set just at the letters and deliver the pitch. Swing and a miss. And there's already one gone so far from Aaron Nola. All right, so Nola strikes out Lindor. That was a beautiful curveball thrown by Aaron Nola. This thing went all the way from 12 to 6. So here's the third baseman, Vientos. This Mets team has been doing overall pretty good. And the pitch, and there's a strike. What's going on, Tony? What's going on, everybody? Thank you all so much for being here. Crew chief for tonight, well, it'll be Lance Barrett, who gets the calls behind the plate. Over at first base, it's Todd Tishner. Nestor Seja's over at second, and Manny Gonzalez, the third base umpire. The 0-1 pitch, and there's a bouncing ball hit over to third, scooped up, and the throw over to first is in plenty of time for out number 2. So a nice play over at third base by Buddy Kennedy, who gets his first start tonight over at third. Still no Bohm in the lineup for Philadelphia. All right. Temperature tonight, well, it is 83 degrees. It's pretty sunny out. Some clouds in the sky. The money line for the Phils tonight, it's at -155. And the over-under set at 8.5. The windup and the pitch. And that misses inside for ball 1. So there's 2 outs already here in the top of the first. Nimmo is up to bat. Mets are in their gray tops, gray bottoms, but they have the blue New York letters with orange stitching on the outside. The pitch, and that's outside for ball 2. They have numbers and letters on the back as well, painted in blue. And with the orange outside stitching. Jersey number on the front side is on the patch just below the chest. And the 2-0. There's a called strike, and that's going to make the count now 2-1. On deck is Pete Alonso. Nimmo is the left fielder. 2 balls, 1 strike. And the pitch coming up from Nola. Here it is. And misses outside for ball 3. Infielders tonight for the Phillies. It's Harper over at first. Stott at second. Kennedy at third. And Turner is the shortstop. Catching behind the plate is JT Realmuto. In left field, it's Wes Wilson. The center fielder is Yohan Rojas. And over in right field is Nick Castellanos. And the guy that's on the hill, it's Aaron Nola. The pitch, foul ball. Good news is that Kyle Schwarber is back in the lineup tonight, and so is JT Realmuto. Schwarber is the DH for the Phils. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on. And 2 outs. And the payoff pitch. There's a foul ball that goes out of play. So this is a big series for the Phillies. They have 7 of their next 10 games are against the Mets. Nimmo lifetime against Nola is 12 for 50, which is good enough for a 250 average, along with a homer and 3 RBI, and he'll foul off the next pitch. He's also struck out against him 19 times, and has tripled off of him once. 7 pitches in this at-bat. And the 8th one coming on up. There's Nola. He'll get set just by the letters and kick and deliver, and that's another foul ball. It was on a knuckle curve. Last time that Nola pitched, he ended up just going 4 2/3 and gave up 4 earned runs, 5 total runs on 9 hits. Not a good start by him. His first loss since August 10th. And 3-2, and that misses down low for ball 4. So a 2-out walk allowed by Nola. It was a long at-bat, but Nimmo, give him credit, definitely put up a really good AB right there. Last time Nola pitched against the Mets, he ended up having 8 strikeouts in that game. And that was on May 14th. And he pitched a complete game 4 hitter. He's only gone 7 or more innings 4 times since then. The pitch. And there's a strike called just on the inside corner at the kneecaps to Pete Alonso. The Polar Bear has a 238 average, along with 31 homers and 80 RBI as well. He gets set again at the letters, Nola that is, and throws it wide for a ball. So Alonso now has 4 straight seasons where he has hit 30 or more homers. 223 for his career total. 3 and the 1-1, is downstairs. Alonso is not DHing tonight. It is the guy that's on deck. That is Jesse Winker. Then in the hole is Jose Iglesias. 2 balls, 1 strike. And the curveball is thrown at the kneecaps, just over the center of the plate for strike 2. Quintana will take the bottom of the first for the Mets. He's done pretty good. Over his last 2 outings, he's been really solid. The couple of times before that, he wasn't so good. So, don't know which version of Quintana we're going to get. 2-2, and that's misses up high for ball 3. He did reach his 100th career win in his last outing. Went 6 2/3, and that was against the Cincinnati Reds, and he struck out 6 batters. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and the payoff pitch, and that misses down low and away for a ball 4. So after 2 outs were recorded and nobody on, Nimmo and Alonso have each walked against Nola. So that'll put runners over at first and second base. Just looks like that he hasn't been able to find his command ever since those first 2 batters. So we got 2 runners on and 2 outs in the pitch. And there's a foul ball by Jesse Winker that hooks out of play. Phillies have faced the Mets 1,074 times. No balls, 1 strike. And here's the pitch. It's inside for a ball. First time that both these teams met was on April 27th of 1962. That was in Polo Grounds, New York. And the Phillies beat them 11-9. 1-1. That is inside for ball 2. Phillies played the Mets in the London series this year. It was back in June. It was on the 8th and the 9th. 2 balls, 1 strike. And the next pitch on the way in, that is dribbled foul over towards the first base side. Both teams had a 10-game winning streak against each other, and that was the longest streak. The Phillies ended up winning 10 games in a row from June 29th to September 25th. That was in 1980. 2-2, grounder, rolled over towards the first base side. Harper flips it over to Nola, who goes to cover the bag, and the inning is finally over. So, no runs, 2 left on 2 walks allowed by Nola. And we head to the bottom of the first. The Phillies are coming up to bat. Okay. All right. Good stuff. Hello, everybody. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it very, very much. Let's get into the starting line for the Phillies. But before we do that, as always, final score predictions. Please comment down below. Would love to hear what you guys have to say in regards to your final scores. I'm going to go with 6-3 Phils. That's my final score prediction. All right? That's what I'm going to go with. So let me know what yours is, and be honest. I would like to hear your honest opinions on what your final score is going to be. Okay, so we're going to the bottom of the first. It'll be Schwarber leading things off for Philadelphia. He's back in the lineup tonight. And then Trey Turner will be over at shortstop, batting second. First baseman's Bryce Harper. He's hitting third. Nick Castellanos bats in the cleanup spot, and he's batting fourth. Then it'll be JT Realmuto, who's batting fifth. Wes Wilson playing out in left field, batting sixth. Seventh will be Bryson Stott, who's over at second base. Third baseman tonight is Buddy Kennedy, and he is over at third. And the center fielder is Johan Rojas, and he is batting in the 9 spot for Philadelphia. So just to recap, it's Schwarber who's DHing. And then you got Turner over at short, Harper over at first, Castellanos playing out in right field, JT Realmuto catching behind the plate, Wes Wilson playing out in left, Bryson Stott over at second base, Buddy Kennedy's over at third, and Johan Rojas is batting in the 9 spot, playing out in center field. So, Schwarber will lead things off. He's hitting .251 on the season so far, and has 35 homers, which is 8th in all of baseball, and has 95 RBI as well. And the guy that he's facing is Jose Quintana in the first pitch, and that's in there for strike 1. Quintana on the season so far has a 4.09 earned run average and 118 strikeouts in 152 innings. The pitch. And that misses outside for a ball. Somebody says just a win. Well, that's no fun. I agree with just a win, but you don't have a final score that you want to share? 1-1, and that's outside for ball 2. 5-4 Phillies. Larry says 5-2 Mets. Okay. 7-3 Phillies. Okay. All right. Sounds good. 2 balls, 1 strike. And the pitch. And that ball was smoked over towards the first base side. And that is going to be flipped over to first base in plenty of time. So, that was a rocket hit over towards first base. Alonso made a nice diving stop, and he had to get up and just flip it back over towards the mound, and that was a big play and a big out there to get Kyle Schwarber. Mark Green says 6-1. I guess that means Mets because you have it backwards. I'm going to assume that means Mets. Thank you all so much for tuning in, by the way. Appreciate it. And the first pitch to Trey Turner. And he hits a high fly ball. It's not that deep, though. And backpedaling and making a stop just in front of the track is Bader for out number 2. And already 2 quick outs. So here comes Bryce Harper, who hit a homer off of Jose Quintana and had a fantastic celebration that was at London Stadium on June 9th. Fans would love to see him homer. It's been quite some time since that's happened. So here we go. Harper batting .288. We're in the City Edition batting gloves. And the first pitch was a fly ball hit out over towards the left center field gap. And that's going to go all the way over towards the wall. Harper is thinking 2. He'll slide on into second base. The throw is very late. And there's Bryce Harper over at second base with a double. And 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Okay, there you go. I mean, he got his pitch. It was outside, and Harper stayed with it, kept his eyes on the ball, had a level swing, and just followed through. So that was good. Good for him to get on base there. Continue to increase that batting average. Ended up going 4 for 5 in his last game. In the game before his last game. And the pitch. And there's a ball. So far in the month of September, he's batting .395 with 15 hits and 38 RBI. The guy that's up now is Castellanos. And the 1-0 pitch. Foul ball. And that one will head towards the seats. On the defensive side for the Mets, Francisco Alvarez is catching behind the plate. Jose Quintana's on the mound. Infielders, it'll be Alonso at first. Iglesias at second. Over at third base is Vientos. And the next pitch is fouled away. Lindor is at short. And the outfielders from left to right, it's Bader out in center. And Taylor is playing out in right field. One ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. And the pitch on the way to Casti. And it's at the eye level, but Casti decides not to bite. And 8 seconds left on the pitch clock. And Quintana with the 2-2. There it is, and there's a little swing it over towards the first base side, and it's played on a bounce by Alonso, and he'll just take it on over towards the bag on a 1-hopper, and the inning is over. Just a 2-out double by Bryce Harper. He's stranded over at second base, and we've played 1 inning and head to the top of the second with no score in Philadelphia. Okay. All right. How's everybody doing, man? Comment down below. And let me know how things are going. Would really appreciate that. What else we got going on? I did not ask a poll question today. I didn't have time. But let me ask you this, though. Okay? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not so important, 10 being very important. How important is this 10-game stretch for the Phillies? So they played the Mets 3 games in a row from Friday to Sunday. Then they head to Milwaukee and play them 3 games in a row. And then they play the Mets again next weekend at Citi Field for a 4-game stretch. So these next 10 games, how important do you think that they are on a scale of 1 to 10? Again, 1 being not so important, 10 being very important. And why do you choose that number? So Denver says an 8. An 8 would be his. He doesn't think like that. He thinks that it's pretty important, is what he's saying. But he doesn't think that if, I guess that from a numbers perspective, you'd probably say like 7 and 3 is what they should go. So, something like that. Jose Serrano says 10. This is really important. And I think that for the Phillies, I think an 8 is a good number. I do. I think an 8 is a good, solid number for them with these next 10 games. So. All right, so top of the second, Mets are up to bat. And it'll be Jose Iglesias. Iglesias batting .317 on the season with 3 homers and 23 RBI. And he'll be facing Aaron Nola, who had the first 2 outs, and then he allowed 2 walks in a row before getting Winker to ground out over to first. And the pitch, swing and a miss, was on a cutter at 86 miles per hour. He threw 26 pitches in that first inning. Hopefully that goes down. The ball is 1 strike. Nola gets the signs from JT. And he'll kick and fire. That pitch is on the inside corner at the kneecaps for strike 2. The ball is 2 strikes. And the next pitch, and that is down low for a ball. So that makes the count now 1-2. Nola in his career against the Mets is 10-8 with a 3.21 ERA and 198 strikeouts. The pitch on the way, line drive hit out over the right field, but Castellanos will be there to track it down near his shoulder, and he's there to make the grab. There's already 1 gone. That's in 27 appearances. And the last time he faced him, he had a complete game shutout. Really, over 4 out of his last 5 outings against the Mets, he has gone at least 6 innings. He went 7. That was on May 5th of 2022. First pitch, and that's taken for a strike. Don't forget to like and subscribe, folks. Appreciate it. And the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. The ball's 2 strikes here. And the windup and the next pitch is just outside for ball 1. Tyrone Taylor's up to bat. He has a .239 average, 6 homers, and 31 RBI as well. The 1-2 just misses outside. And the count is now tied up at 2 apiece. Nola's 31 years old. ended up going to LSU. 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighs 200 pounds, and the pitch. And that misses inside and low for ball 3. Francisco Alvarez, who hit a big 3-run homer in the last game for the Mets when they played against the Jays. He is up to bat. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss on that knuckle curve that ended up heading towards the dirt. And Taylor strikes out, and there's the second out of the inning. Not gonna lie, that was a pretty good pitch. That one looked pretty good to bite at. And it certainly got Taylor fooled. Nola has 11 pitches in this inning alone, 36. And just 1 2/3. First pitch to Alvarez, and he takes that one downstairs. The Mets were getting no hit in the last game that they played against Bowden Francis. And finally, Francisco Lindor broke the curse in the top of the 9th and tied it up 1-1. 1-0 pitch, and that's taken down low for ball 2. That was the second time this summer that Bowden Francis had a no-hitter going into the 9th inning that was being broken up. That doesn't really happen too often. 2-0, and that misses for ball 3. Way outside. I'll have to sign in. Harrison Bader is in the on-deck circle. Three balls, no strikes, and there's a strike thrown that catches the inner part of the knees. It's pretty tight there. Base is empty, and 2 outs. You're in the top of the second, no score in Philadelphia. 3 balls, 1 strike. Nola kicks and fires and throws another sinker that ends up just catching the lower part of the plate for strike 2. This is the 4th full count that Nola has had to deal with today. 4th one. And the payoff pitch from Nola. There's a little squibbler that's fouled away. And the Mets bat boy has to go out there to get it because it was hit over towards the third base dugout. We got the Dodgers and the Braves on tonight. That game is on Apple TV at 7:20 p.m. Eastern Time. Once the Phillies game is done, we will be covering that game to see if the Dodgers can help out the Phillies by beating the Braves to help get the magic number of getting into the playoffs down a little bit more. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and the payoff pitch on the way. There's another ground ball hit over to third base, scooped up by Kennedy, and the throw across the diamond will be in plenty of time. And a 1-2-3 inning by Nola. Head to the bottom of the second. Phillies are coming up to bat. We'll be right back in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. All right, thank you all so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button as well. And that way you'll know when we go live for a Phillies, a Sixers, or an Eagles game. The next pitch, and that's taken for ball one to JT Realmuto. JT batting .266 this season, and he'll foul the next pitch back over towards the screen. One ball, one strike. And the next pitch, and there's a foul ball. Mike said, so I said this. I think that they should, in the playoffs, move Nola down to the 3 and move Sanchez up to the 2. I agree. That's fine. That's totally fine. I agree with that. Sure. Sure, but then you don't have Nola pitching at home. It would probably be on the road for the most part. I don't know if that matters to you, but I think that's fine with me. 1-2 pitch. That's taken outside. Not by much for ball 2. The pitch to JT. It's fouled back. JT is hitting .270 against the Mets. 130 hits in 135 games. It's pretty impressive. 13 homers, 67 RBI, and 57 runs scored as well. Over his last 10 games against the Mets, he's batting .325 with 13 hits. And the pitch on the way, and that is dribbled foul again. Lifetime against Quintana, his average is at .286. And he has seen them 14 times. Just a solo homer off of him. 2-2 is the count. And Quintana winds up and delivers. Fly ball, hit out over towards straightaway center field. And Bader backpedals and makes the catch. Makes it look really easy. And the first out is made. All right. Are any of our injured players coming back this weekend? JT's back, and so is Bohm. So, the pitch, and there's a line drive, and that's caught. So, there's out number 2. He's going to have to pitch on the road eventually, but good points is Mike Green. Yeah, I mean, I don't really think that that's. I'm not really bothered about it, but I know that it would bother some people. If they're 0-2 and he has to pitch in game 3, I wouldn't know if I feel good about it, but he's probably the best one, you know. There we go. First pitch, and it's taken for a strike. And the 0-1 misses outside for ball 1. One ball, one strike. And Stott's up to bat, and he'll shoot the next pitch foul. Bottom of the second. Nobody on base. 2 outs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Quintana already with 22 pitches only. And the 1-2 pitch, that's on the outside corner for a called strike 3. And Stott goes down looking. That's the first strikeout tonight by Jose Quintana. Already 2 good innings by him. And we head to the top of the third. Which pitcher will blink first? Okay. 9, 1, and 2 due up in the order. Okay. Good stuff. All right. Don't forget to like and subscribe, folks, and hit that thumbs up button. And that way you'll know when I upload. A wrist injury is so bad when you bat. So hard to roll the wrists over. That's why I think Bryce is having home run issues. Yeah, that's a good point, man. Wrist injuries aren't so good. It impacts your power, impacts your swing, and you don't want to have those. But to Bryce's credit, he's playing through it, and honestly, the team needs him. I will say that, that they do need him, and if it's just, if Harper's going to give you value still without the homers, I think that that's fine. I think that if he can still get on with doubles, and if he can still get on base, I think that that's still valuable. Now, unfortunately, you're not unlocking his full potential, but right now these are games now where you need them. And I thought that they maybe had time earlier during during July and August where they could have done that, but they decided not to do it. And that's on the organization, in my opinion, but we can't really sit him anymore, especially now that Bohm still isn't back from his injury. So Bader is coming up, and Nola with the first pitch. It's just outside, but it's a called strike, and he gets the generous call by the home plate umpire. Bader batting .243, does have 11 homers and 47 RBI as well on the season. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Has to have that knuckle curve working for him, just like that pitch. Bader is 30 years old. His nickname is Tots. Was on the Cardinals, the Yankees, and the Reds before coming to the Mets. And he takes the next one outside. Went to the University of Florida, and he was actually raised here in the Bronx. And was selected by the Cardinals in the 2015 MLB Draft. 1-2 on the way. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. He gone. And the third strikeout of the night by Aaron Nola. Pitch, and there's a strike. I mean, Larry, usually when I mean by blink, I mean allow a run. That's usually what blink means. But is he leaking a little bit of oil? Maybe. That's another thing, but he hasn't allowed a run yet. So that's like another way of saying that he's allowed a run. So he hasn't blinked yet. 1 ball, 1 strike. I think if they start clinching early, they'll get more rest. Yeah, but I also think that they want the 1 seed. So, 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch. And there's a swing and a miss. That was funny, Larry. That was funny. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Nola kicks and fires and throws it just inside, but it's a called strike 3. And Nola gets the generous call again. Back-to-back strikeouts, and Lindor has struck out 2 times today. And it's Vientos coming up to bat. Anthony Sanfilippo, who covers the Phillies, just tweeted out after Bryce Harper's double, quote-unquote, in the first inning. He has a slash line in his last 20 games of 389 /451 /569. So he's doing pretty good. And the pitch, and there's a strike. Who blinks first implies that they're on equal footing. They're not. No, to me, Hoopling's first is more so like on a runs perspective. Who allows a run first that's the way that I think that it goes. But 1 ball, 1 strike. That's the way that I was taught. But maybe you're right. 1-1, swing and a miss. The bottom line is that neither of these pitchers have allowed a run yet. Fair enough? That's the bottom line. So 2 outs here in the top of the third. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mark Vientos. Who's 0 for 1. And the pitch. And that is outside and low for ball 2. Vientos hitting .275. Does have 24 homers on the season. Last time he homered was on Friday the 6th, where he ended up going deep twice. And the 2-2 pitch, here it is. Strike 3 called, and Aaron Nola gets a 1-2-3 inning and strikes out the side. And, well, we head to the bottom of the third. It's no score in Philadelphia. Nola with already 5 strikeouts in 3 innings, and no hits allowed. So, all right, let's go. Let's keep it going. Say what y'all want about Nola, but y'all have to admit that when effective, Nola's knuckle curve is one of the nastiest pitches in the league. Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that. Sal Perez just crushed a pitch and took it 434 feet. There's a guy who doesn't get a lot of recognition as a catcher, but he's had a Hall of Fame career. He really has. Nola's still getting ahead of the guys every at-bat. Well, he had 4 3-2 counts, which wasn't so good, but he seems to be doing better now. He has been getting some of the calls, I have to admit that too. But that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, Mod Squad. You got to do me a solid. You got to tell me how many likes do we have down below. And don't forget to tell people to make sure that they like and subscribe. I don't know if we have a lot of mods on tonight, but I would really appreciate that. Very, very much. 9-1-2, or 8-9-1, excuse me, are due up in the order. It's Kennedy, Rojas, and Schwarber. Monday Night Football is a thing, says Larry. What are we talking about? Why is the Eagles game on a Monday? Way too long of a wait. Yeah, but Martian, I understand your point. He wants them to play tonight. And from a Friday to a Monday, that is a 10-day break. I understand it's the same thing from Thursday to Sunday, but even still, that's a long time. Pitch, and there's a ball taken. It's a long time for in-season. Kennedy with 1 homer and 5 RBI. And we'll take the next pitch low and outside for ball 2. Thanks, Larry. Appreciate it. Quintana now 35 years old. And he winds up and throws the 2-0, and that looked a little low, but it's a called strike anyways. Last season, Quintana with the Mets pitched in 13 games and was 3-6 with a 3.57 ERA, 75 strikeouts in 75 2/3. And the next pitch, swing and a miss. Actually, sorry, 75 hits allowed in his 75 2/3, but he had 60 strikeouts. This year, he has 152 innings under his belt. This is his 29th start. And he's at 118 strikeouts, 59 walks, and about 140 hits allowed. The pitch, ground ball, hit over to shortstop. Lindor gobbles it up, fires across the diamond, and gets the first out. So the Phillies have only gotten one hit. There's only been one hit in this game and a total of 3 base runners. Comes Rojas. That pitch was way up high, but it was a check swing foul ball that found the seats over towards the first base side. There's the Philly fanatic wearing his City Edition uniform. Has the bell cap on backwards right on top of his red cap. And he's spilling popcorn everywhere. Oh boy. Oh no. Gotta watch out. Just getting it on people's phones and everything. Gotta keep them clean. 0-1. There's a strike 2 called. Still trying to buzz his way in. I don't know where he's trying to sit, but 0-2 pitch, and that's outside for a ball. I mean, does he have a space to sit? There he goes. Okay, now he's settled down. He's watching the game, and now he's trying to cheer on the crowd as Rojas is up to bat. 1-2 on the way. Ground ball back up the middle. It's scooped up by the second baseman. Throw over to first, and Rojas is going to beat it out. It almost got by Alonso. It actually did get by him, but it sort of slowed up a little bit, and Alvarez went to go cover. So that's going to be ruled as an infield single, I assume, and Rojas able to get on here in the bottom of the third. Okay. And the Fanatics now are pretty happy. Best mascot in all of baseball. Best mascot in sports. Time called on the hill as Quintana is going to have Francisco Alvarez go out there to have a conversation with him. And while we're in that, well, just want to remind you guys that the Mets are 8 games behind the Phillies. They are 80-66. The Phillies are 88-58. The Mets are also 1 game above the Atlanta Braves, who are 79-67. And they're taking on the Dodgers. We'll have that game covered after this one is done. So, thank you so much for subscribing, Travis. I appreciate it. If you did subscribe to my channel and your name did not come up, or if I did not acknowledge you and you want to be acknowledged, let me know. And I will give you a shout out. The pitch. And there's a foul ball that's hit over towards the first base side. Schwarber grounded out his first time up. And the pitch is low. Alvarez with a throw over the second, and Rojas gets his hand in there, but his hand came off the bag, and he's ruled out on the swipe by the second baseman, Jose Iglesias. Calitre's going to go on over towards the phone to see if they should challenge this. And I don't think that they will. Rojas is out over at second base. His hand just came off. So he had it in the bag. Let's see for a second if it came off. Oh, yeah. Just did. He had his right hand on it, and then he overslid the bag and was tagged on the fingertips. Yep. He overdove. Yep. 2 balls, 1 strike as the next pitch is taken outside. And the 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. So Rojas is out at second. It's now 23 for 27 in stolen base opportunities. 2-2. That's taken outside for ball 3. Dive properly. He overdove. He just, his hand came off. 3-2 pitch. There's a fly ball hit out over towards center field. It stays up there, and Bader is going to track it down and make the catch. And Schwarber has hit the ball sharply twice today. Just has lined out and has grounded out And we head to the top of the third. Still no score in Philadelphia. And the Mets are coming back up to the plate. What's going on, 3-Step? How you doing? Thank you so much for tuning in. I want us to get to 4,200 subscribers by the end of tonight. I really want us to get there. So if you wouldn't mind doing so, please make sure that you like and subscribe, folks. We go on for as many Phillies, Sixers, and Eagles games as we can. People are wondering, are we going to do the Eagles game on Monday night? Haven't decided yet. We got to see how this weekend goes for the Phillies. If the Phillies have a chance to clinch on Monday night, we're not doing the Birds game. I want to be here for clinch night. So that's the truth. All right? I don't know. So if somebody asks me on here, are you doing the Eagles game on Monday night, please tell them that JJ hasn't made up his mind yet, but he'll do the Phillies if they're about ready to clinch. I would appreciate that. So we go to the top of the third inning. Top of the fourth, excuse me. Fourth inning coming up. Mets will have Nimmo, Alonso, and Winker due up to bat. What's up, 3-Step? How you doing, man? Thank you so much for coming on here. Appreciate it, dude. What is good? How are you? All right, so top of the fourth. Not a lot of sound so far in this game. It's been pretty quiet. Phillies Tailgate just tweeted out something interesting. They said that through 3 innings, the Phillies have an expected batting average of .383. And they have 2 hits. It's interesting. Pitch on the way. There's a grounder hit over towards first base. And it's gobbled up by Harper. And there's one gone. What is June 9th of 2024? That was the last time the Phillies played the Mets. Is that in the title here? Did I forget to take that out of the title? I apologize. Is that what I did? That was the last time the Phillies played the Mets. I copied and pasted everything, but I probably didn't look at the title. Top of the fourth, 1 out. It was on a ground ball hit over to first base by Nimmo, and now Alonso's coming up. JJ, what is the season series between the Phillies and the Mets so far? Give me 1 second. Phillies ended up splitting the London series with them. And they are winning the series 4-2. They took the first series 3-1 in New York. 1-0 pitch, and there's a strike called. Any more questions? Comment down below. I'm not even being sarcastic. I'm being serious. If you guys have any questions or something that I don't cover, please ask. 1-1 delivery, and that is swung on and missed. Yeah, it's in the title. All right, I'll change it. Apologize about that. One ball, 2 strikes. I'm happy that you brought that up. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. And the next pitch, strike 3 called again for Nola, and he gets his 6th strikeout of the game. That was a nice pitch. All right, so it's changing now. All right, there we go. Changed it. All right. Glad to be jumping on early. What do you mean jumping on early? We're in the top of the fourth. Were you at work? The pitch. And there is a pitch that's taken low and inside for a ball. Do you know how Turner will do against the Mets? No, that's the surprise about baseball. You just don't know. 1-0 pitch. There's a pop-up that's hit out over towards shallow left field. Wilson gets under it. And he'll make the catch for out number 3. So, 1, 2, 3, go New York. And Jesse Winker pops out to left, and we head to the bottom of the fourth. Still no score in Philadelphia. Trey Turner, if somebody asked how he's doing against the Mets, I can tell you this. Against Jose Quintana, he's 6 for 21 throughout his career. What else? What else do you want to know? Against the Mets this season, he has a he's never faced the Mets. Forgot about that. Actually, wait, that's incorrect. This season, where is it? He played the Mets before, didn't he? No. He didn't. Oh, yeah, because he was on the injured list. So he hasn't faced the Mets at all this year. That I should have known. But, yeah. Last time he faced them was on September 30th, and he ended up going 1 for 4, or 1 for 3 against the Mets. So, there you have it. All right. So, bottom of the fourth coming up. You're very welcome, and I'm so happy that you're as real as you are. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't have a fake bone in my body, man. You know, I try to keep it professional on here, but I also try to keep it, I keep it somewhat professional, but I also like to make it a little bit more comfy as well. But for the most part, I like to, call the game a little bit more so old school. Sometimes I get too involved with the chat, and I'm really trying to figure out when to pick my spots with it. So if I ignore you, don't take that personally. I'm not just saying you. I'm talking about anybody. If I don't see something, I apologize. You're more than welcome to type it in again. Don't spam the chat, but that is why I do tell people that you're also more than welcome to donate, because I will definitely see it. But I'm trying to focus more so on the call, but add in you guys as color commentary and as more so flavor. So the more people we have on here, the tougher it's going to be. Here we go. 1 ball, no strikes to Trey. And the next pitch is a foul ball. Braves are up 1-0 so far. They had runners over at second and third. And the Dodgers are able to get out of the inning. 1-1 is the count, and Quintana kicks and delivers, and there's a high bouncer hit over towards the mound. Quintana has it and throws it over to first base, and Trey Turner is out and is now 0 for 2. Exactly, just getting home and settled. Nice. Very, very nice. Good man, you're doing it right, my friend. Thank you. And if you guys have any feedback, you're more than welcome to email me. There is a bot that we do have on here. You're also more than welcome to follow me on the LINKTREE. That's where all my social medias are. Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, we go on there. So click on that, and that's where you'll find all my socials, and you can go follow me at Play by Play with JJ. Here's Harper up to bat, and he fouls off the first pitch thrown by Quintana. Looked like it was a fastball. Harper has the only hit in the outfield today for Philadelphia. Had the 2-out double in the bottom of the first. 0-1. That's inside. Although he's not wearing pants. How'd you know? How'd you know? The pitch to Harper, swing and a miss, and Quintana throws a slurve there. That's the first time he's thrown a slurve tonight. That's like an extra pitch that he has in his toolbox. His hands are dripping with sweat. It's not too hot out there. And time called very quickly. Nope, they're going to call a pitch clock violation because Quintana started his windup and sort of stopped for a second. I don't know why. And Alvarez tried to call for time, so it's an automatic ball called against Bryce Harper, and the count is now 2-2. And the pitch. That's a called strike 3. And Harper can't believe it. It was a good pitch, not going to lie. And there's 2 outs. Two gone. And Castellanos will take a 4-seamer that misses inside. Dylan says multitasking. Get my Italian hero on a plate. What's an Italian hero? What's that from? On a plate with some chips and a pickle. 1-0 pitch to Casty. Swung on, lifted out over towards left field. It'll stay in the ballpark, though, and Taylor's going to make the catch, and the third and final out is made. And another 1-2-3 innings, so that is now 8 men retired in a row. 7 out of the last 9 men are retired in a row from Jose Quintana. And we've played 4 full innings and head to the top of the 5th. Okay. Because I forgot that Rojas got on with an infield single. Okay, it's time now for On This Day in Phillies History as we go to the top of the 5th inning. So let's do that right now. Of course, this is brought to you by Broad and Pattison. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Turn on the bell icons. We need 60 more subs for us to get to 4,200. If you guys want to become members, the link is posted down here. It is $2.99 a month. You get access to really, really cool emojis. Members, you're more than welcome to type that in. And you can also get some really cool podcasts on here as well. It's really well worth the $2.99. All right. But that's all the house cleaning stuff. And now let's get back to our program. So on this day, today is September 3rd, 2024. In 1925 on this day, according to Broad and Pattison, shout out to them, by the way, too, Dazzy Vance of the Dodgers threw a no-hitter as Brooklyn won the first game of a doubleheader, and the score was 10-1. The Phillies scored their unearned run on a 2-base outfield error, a pass ball, and a sac fly. In 1974 on this day, the Phillies take 17 innings and nearly 5 hours just to lose to the St. Louis Cardinals. The score was 7-3. They used 27 players in the process, which was a National League record at the time. The Cards used 24 players. So you add that up, 24 plus 27, the combined total of 51 set a new Major League record. And both of the new records beat marks that were less than a week old, which means it happened in September of 1974, before this one, before the one on this day. Top of the 5th, and the pitch to Iglesias, and that is swung on and missed. It was a knuckle curve. Did any of you know that stuff? Do y'all like the On This Day in Phillies History? Be honest. Be honest with me. The ball is 1 strike. And the pitch to Iglesias. Line drive it out over to right field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. And Castellanos will get over to it, and Jose Iglesias gets on with a single. So that's what happened, and today is September 13th. Another really cool thing that happened was Giancarlo Stanton threw out 3 Phillies players on base. And it was 1 at each base. Second, third, and home. The last one was erased, though, or the last one erased the potential game-winning run, thanks to a replay challenge. And the Phillies got to celebrate later when Nick Williams had an RBI double in the 15th to get them the win. The pitch is fouled away by Taylor. And Aaron Nola will throw his 67th pitch here. Here it comes. The 0-1 is grounded foul. What's up, John? How you doing, man? Yes, I like the Phillies history. Good. Anybody else like it or anybody else not like it? Comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are on it. I think it adds another dimension to the game. 0-2 pitch. That's taken low for a ball. Or if you know, you know. That's right. Some would call it a hoagie. I prefer maybe a hero. Maybe it's a New York thing. I like that. I kind of like that. That's cool. Huh. I like that. 1-2. That's high. Not by much. No score in the top of the fifth. It's been Nola going up against Jose Quintana in a pitching duel. Toss back over to first is not in time. Two balls, two strikes. And the next pitch, and there's a ground ball that's past the dive of Turner into left field for a base hit. And that's going to put runners over at first and second base with still nobody out. That was on the 70th pitch by Nola. And Alvarez is coming up to the plate. He'll try to get the first run on the board for New York. There's Don Money, was a Phillies infielder from 1968 to 72. He's being interviewed now on NBC Sports Philadelphia. He was the first player to hit a home run at the Vets. That was on April 10th of 1971. So 2 runners on and nobody out here in the top of the fifth. Count is 0-1 as Alvarez bounces it foul. Money played for the Phillies and the Brewers. Is now 77 years old. Played with the Phillies from 68 to 72. And was a 4-time All-Star after he left Philadelphia and went over to Milwaukee. Played from 73 to 83. The 0-1 pitch, fly ball hit out over towards deep left field. That hits off the top of the foul pole, and Alvarez goes deep for the second game in a row. Eighth homer of the season, and he is heating up now. And that makes it 3-0 New York. Don't like to say I told you so, but watching this guy in the minors, I knew it. Knew he was going to be a stud. That actually hit the foul pole twice. It hit the right side of it and then danced over towards the left side. And the pitch, there's a foul ball. So Aaron Nola gives up a 3-run homer. And the deficit is now 3-0 in favor of the Mets. The pitch, that's a called strike. Looked a little bit low. Bader is up to bat. Nola, that was his 27th homer that he has allowed this season. 27th. Oh, 2 pitch, swing and a miss. And there's the 7th strikeout of the game for Nola. And one gone. You would think that Nola is actually first in homers allowed, but the guy that's allowed the most homers this season is Cutter Crawford with 31. Jose Barrios has 28, and he's tied with Carlos Rodon and Griffin Canning. And now Nola is tied with Colin Ray and Austin Gomer for the Colorado Rockies. Here's Lindor, who has struck out 2 times in both of his at-bats. He's behind in the count already, 0-1. I honestly love it, JJ. I can't speak for others, but keep it going, bro. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Will says that he likes it. Phillies history. You like it? Good. Very good. Thanks, guys. 0-1. Swing and a miss. And the count's now 0-2. Money was a great defensive third baseman until he got hit in the eye with a ground ball. That I didn't know. He's in the Brewers Walk of Fame. He was honored in 2005 and was inducted along with one of the former Brewers managers, and that was Harvey Quinn. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here in the top of the 5th, Nola with 70 pitches. I think 6 innings will probably be it for him. And the 1-2 is bounced foul. One ball, 2 strikes. And 1 out, and the pitch. And there's ball 2. Chat, what did I say? What did I say about this one? Am I doing the Phillies or the Eagles game on Monday? Does anybody remember what I said? I'm just curious. I said that I don't know yet. I don't know yet. You didn't know that, but I did say to the people that were in the chat, to my mods, if somebody does ask that question, please let everybody know, because I really don't want to repeat myself. The pitch, and there's a line drive hit out over to left field for a base hit, and Lindor gets on with a single out over to left field. I don't know yet. If the Phillies are going to clinch, I'm doing the Phillies game. That's what I said. But yeah. Toss back over to first, and Lindor is safe. Harper tried to tag him, and he sort of lost his footing for a second, and Lindor just got his right hand back in there. They sweep the Rays and then look like this, says David. That's baseball for you, man. Yeah. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. And Vientos will come on up to the dish. And the pitch is inside for a ball. Oh no, here it is. Swing and a miss. That was a good knuckle curve thrown. Please make sure that you guys like and subscribe and continue to turn on those bell icons. Big crowd tonight at Citizens Bank Park. Nola will deliver from the stretch. Lindor leads off over at first. And the 1-1 on the way. Line drive hit that over to center field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. So another hit allowed in this inning by Nola. And in this 5th inning, he has really started to lose his command. That's 4 singles allowed in this inning alone. Braves are up 3-0. It's 5-0 now. We have time called on the mound. And Gotham is going to go on out there to talk things over. I'm going to minimize chat for a second. So, chat, what are you going to say if somebody asks in the chat if I'm doing the Phillies or the Eagles game? What are you going to tell them? What are you going to tell them? One out here in the top of the 5th. So Lindor is over at second. Vientos is over at first. Mets are in their gray tops, gray bottoms. They have the blue letters on the front and the back with the orange stitching. And Nimmo is going to come on up. He's in 225 this season with 18 homers and 75 RBI. Jane says flip a coin. Undecided. I said if the Phillies are going to clinch, I would do the Phillies game. That's what I said. The pitch. And it's 1 ball, no strikes. If the Phillies are going to clinch, I'm doing the Phillies game. If they're not, I probably won't do the Phillies game. Yep, I don't know yet. Yeah. And Zach, I didn't mean to call you out, man. I wasn't trying to put you on the spot. I'm just tired of repeating myself. So I'm trying to see if other people can speak for me when it comes to these things, so that way they know. 2 balls, no strikes. Top of the 5th, 1 out, and the pitch. And there's a strike called. Come on, Nola. I need you to do better, man. Need you to do better. Aaron is in poor cardiovascular condition, says Jack. 2-1 offering. That pitch is fouled off of the ankle of Nimmo. He's hitting .308 with runners in scoring position and has 6 homers and 54 RBI, along with 10 doubles. The 2-2, and Lindor is going to get caught into a pickle. Throw back over to second, but he's safe. Ugh. Lindor almost got caught into a rundown. He sort of went, and LINKTREE, they're not going to review it. Lindor just got back over there. Turner had to go cover the bag, and I don't think that they're going to challenge it because I think he was just safe. Probably should have just tried to tag him on the helmet. But it's hard to realize that in the matter of seconds. 2-2, and that's outside and low for ball 3. Now, that is how you execute something that saving a potential rundown situation. You get back to the bag after you flinch, and you do it with speed. The Phillies don't really do such a good job with that. 3-2 pitch, swung on and lifted out over towards right field, and that one is gone. That's the 3rd 3-run homer allowed in this inning by Aaron Nola, and that's going to make it 6-0 New York. And Nimmo gets his 19th homer of the season. And that's probably going to be it for Aaron. So Rob Thompson's going to go out there. He's seen enough of Nola. And, well, that thing was golfed. Nimmo had a good swing there. And the Mets are already making a statement and are pounding the Phillies. So there's still 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. 6-0 New York. And Aaron Nola's night is done. 6 hits. All in this inning, too, by the way. All in this inning. Crazy. So, pitch and change for the Phils. It's 6-0 New York. What's up, Tree? How you doing? Don't forget to like and subscribe. I do recall that's what you said, JJ. If they do clinch, no birds broadcast. Yep. Yeah. Just repeat that to people because I know that other people are gonna ask, and I just don't want to keep answering that. It's a little bit tiring, you know. It does. I mean, like I understand that that's sort of like part of the job some of the time, but you know, if my mods could just remember to do that, I would appreciate that. And mods, speaking of remembering things, how many likes do we have? How many likes do we have? JJ, I have a question. How do you remain so calm whenever there's a blowout like this in a division? Okay, so let me ask you this. Does Joe Buck get angry when his team is down 6-0? Did Vince Scully ever get angry when the Dodgers were down 6-0? Did Al Michaels, does he get mad when he was covering the World Series and when teams were down 5-0? Or Brian Anderson when he's covering the Brewers? It's a part of the job. You know, like when you're covering a team, you know, you do play-by-play, you'll take like the good things that come with it, but some of these people that have been doing it for like 45 years, that's how it goes, you know? 1 ball, no strikes, and the pitch, and that's taken for a strike. The pitch, and that's taken for a strike. Nobody mentioned anger. The point is, do they get down? Do they get down when, or mad or upset when that happens? That's the point. The pitch, and there's a line drive hit back up the middle for a base hit. You understand what I was trying to say, man. People right now are angry. But Alonso gets on with a single and continues the inning. Comes Jesse Winker, and that pitch is fouled off. Jose Ruiz is pitching. Has already 5 pitches so far. And the pitch is fouled away. Todd Zaleski just tweeted out that Nola has never, until tonight, allowed 2 3-run homers in a game before. The 0-2 pitch. That's taken outside for ball 1. Mod Squad, how many likes do we have? Nobody answered me. Come on, mods. One ball, 2 strikes. And the next pitch, and there's a foul ball. Jesse Winker batting .263 with 14 homers and 58 RBI as well. One, 2. And that is up high for ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. And there's a foul ball. It's the most runs that Nola has allowed against the Mets in quite some time. 2-2 pitch. And that's outside for ball 3. Completely the point you were making, JJ. That's right. That's right. 3-2. Here it is. Swing and a miss. And Jose Ruiz gets a strikeout. And that's how we get the first out, I believe, of the inning. The second out, excuse me. And now, Iglesias, who started off the inning with a single, is coming up. Yeah, it's that's how it goes, man. Like, Scott Fransky doesn't get, doesn't just say, he doesn't, lose his cool, Like, you sort of have to remain a certain way because, guess what? That's not going to make the broadcast as interesting when you're just so down and when you're so mad. 1-0, that's taken for a strike. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't criticize them. Of course you can. But if you sounded angry all the time, or if you were like that, it's not as much of an enjoyable watch. But you still have to call them out. There's no doubt about it. 1-1, and that's taken for down low for ball 2. Two balls, one strike. We're in the top of the fifth, and there's 2 outs and the next pitch, and that is smoked over to shortstop, and Turner catches it, and a line out is made from Jose Iglesias. And that's going to do it. However, the Mets do strike for 6, thanks to 2 3-run homers allowed by Aaron Nola, including one by Nimmo and the other one by Francisco Alvarez. And we head to the bottom of the fifth. It's 6-0 New York. A White Sox announcer cursed on the air earlier this year. Yeah, but you're not supposed to do that. And my mom had a saying, right? My mom has a saying. Shout out to my mom. If somebody sticks your head in the toilet bowl, would you stick your head in would you stick your head in the toilet bowl too? Not even just in the same toilet bowl. Would you do that if they stuck their head in the toilet bowl? No. Why shouldn't we be JJ? Why shouldn't we be JJ? They're not playing to their fullest potential. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be mad. I'm not saying that at all. No. Somebody asked me before in the chat, David asked specifically, let me go back to it. David, what did you specifically ask? JJ, I have a question. How do you remain so calm when there's a blowout like this against a division? And my point that I was trying to make is that other broadcasters have to keep their calm too. You can point out the flaws and you can criticize them and you can say, well, this hasn't gone well. Aaron Nola has not been good tonight. He just hasn't. He hasn't. And that's also just a part of my nature, But I'm not saying that you shouldn't be mad. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be angry. That's not what I'm saying. But I wanted to just explain myself for you. Here comes JT and the pitch. That's taken inside and low. It's called professionalism. Yep. That's right. 116 likes. Thank you. Thanks, Mod Squad. Appreciate it. The ball is 1 strike. And the pitch to JT. That's in the dirt for a ball. If they come back, I'll eat my hat, says KGB. $13 more subs till we get to 4,200. And the pitch. And there's a ball that's taken for ball 2. Thanks so much for the subscribers. Appreciate it. Max Lazar is warming up in the Phillies bullpen. And he'll pitch the top of the 6th, the 2-1, and that's taken up high for ball 3. Are we a little bit behind? Yeah, we are. 3-1 pitch, and that's taken for strike 2. Of course, we were a little bit behind. Sorry about that. I paused it for a second because I wanted to read a graphic, and I forgot to fast forward. 3-2 pitch, and that's fouled back over towards the screen. Dodgers just got a run back. We're in the bottom of the fifth. There's nobody on and nobody out. Yeah, if you read my bio, man, I called games for the Wilmington Blue Rocks and for the Delaware Bluecoats. I went to college for broadcasting. So, yeah, that's why I started this channel. 3-2 pitch, and there's a fly ball hit out over towards straightaway center field, and that will be caught by Harrison Bader for out number 1. Phillies have not gotten a hit since the bottom of the third. And JT lines out. So, yeah, so I went to school for broadcasting. I went to Rowan University, graduated in the spring of 2022, and called games for the Blue Rocks, who were the high A affiliate of the Washington Nationals, and for the Delaware Bluecoats, who were the G League affiliate of the Philadelphia 76ers. The pitch, and there's a strike called. But at the same time, we're trying to take over digital media, but we also like to keep sort of an old school style to it as well, you know? 0-1, and that's taken down low for a ball. That's why I don't like to use the word that I'm a streamer on here. I still like to say that I'm a play-by-play announcer. It's in the title, you know? That's why we're called Play-by-Play with JJ. It's plain and simple like that. Here's the 1-1 to West, and that's taken outside for ball 2. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. That means a lot. It's competitive, man. It is. I don't want to go too much into it because I could talk about it all the time. But that's not why you're here. 2-1. That's on the outside corner. Thrown by Quintana for strike 2. Why are you guys here? Well, the Phillies are losing 6-0. It's in the bottom of the fifth. There's one out, and the count is 2-2 to Wes Wilson. Just got news that Taijuan Walker has set the WNBA record for most assists in a single season. And the pitch, and there's a line drive foul ball. That one goes out of play. Did he catch that in the stands? I think the kid just caught that, man. How about Dylan Cease, man? Shout out to him. Cease is 3 strikeouts away from getting his 1,000th career strikeout. Two balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch, here it is. It's popped up and hit out over towards the first base side in foul territory, and Alonso will get under it and make the grab for out number 2. The Phillies' offense has been pretty silent so far, and Wilson fouls out. .828 innings for Dylan Cease. He would be the 4th pitcher in Padres history, according to Sarah Langs, to reach 1,000 strikeouts in fewer than 850 innings pitched. The pitch, and there's a strike that's fouled away. So he would join 3 who will be in the ballpark Friday. That's Robbie Ray, Yu Darvish, and Blake Snell. Isn't that crazy? Next pitch. Now it's 1 ball, 1 strike. That's right. Blake Snell and Robbie Ray are on the Giants. 1-1. There's a fly ball hit out over towards center field, and Bader covers the ground and will make the catch. And the inning is over. Another 1-2-3 inning by Quintana. He's been lights out. And we head to the top of the 6th. It'll be Tyrone Taylor leading things off. And then Alvarez and Bader all coming up. You're taught what not to say in broadcasting school. You provided a great service. Yeah, and it's different on here, man. Like, the end goal, I'll be honest with you, the end goal is eventually what I would really like to do is I want us to be successful on here, but I also really would love to have another channel where I could find other play-by-play commentators and start my own company and have other people do it digitally for my company. So, like, I'd have a Mets broadcaster. I'd have one for the Rangers, Texas Rangers, one for, the New York Islanders, and cover, like, all the big four. That's eventually what I would love to do, but it's going to take years and years and years to do that. I think it would be so cool, though, because the digital media airways are growing, and I think it'd be awesome to do that, That's really, like, one of my big goals that I sort of sat down with myself and I talked about that about a week ago or so, because I think it'd be awesome. Of course, like, we're still doing things in person. We're still going to be doing Villanova. I'm excited about that for ice hockey. But this is, I think, where the future lies. I do. I've said that for a while. And I want to get other people that can interact with the chat, because I think that that's, like, what makes it cool, is that we keep it an old school style, like radio, but we do it with class. Well, I'm not. Don't take that the wrong way. It's not what I meant. We do it with we try to keep it, like, with we try to do it professionally, but we also like to interact with you guys. That's basically what I'm saying. Cash out, Justin. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. So here's Lazar. He's gonna pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Don't take that the wrong way. The 1-1, that's way outside for ball 2. So here's Tyrone Taylor, who was singled back in the 5th. He also scored a run as well. And he takes the next one up high for ball 3. Three-one, swing and a miss, like you. Yeah, but different, Different. Here's the 3-2 pitch. There's a pop-up hit out over towards the first base side in foul territory. And Harper will get under it to make the catch. And the first out is made. But yeah. So Winker pops out, or fouls out, I should say. Iglesias fouls out, Taylor fouls out. And now it's Francisco Alvarez coming up. And the pitch, and that's taken for a strike. I like the interacting with the chat. That's why I tell people to come on here. In the 0-1, there's a grounder, and that's hit over towards the mound, and Lazar has it, and he'll throw it over to first for out number 2. That's why I like this, because I can interact with you, or you can have other people interact with each other. You know what I mean? Pitch on the way, and there's a line drive it down the left field line that is a fair ball. Bader is going to get on with at least a double. Wilson does get on over to it, and Bader will jog on over to second and get another base hit. It's actually his first hit today. That's basically what Chat Sports does, but it has to be actual fans of teams. Yeah, but I want to do it. I want to find people that, have, that, like, want to go into play-by-play specifically. You know what I mean? Like, That's what I want to do. And that's no disrespect to like what Chat Sports does because they do an awesome job. But I want it to be different. The pitch. Nats taken for a ball. But I wouldn't do that on this channel. I would make a separate channel for it. That's what I would do. 1 ball, no strikes. We're in the top of the 6th. There's 2 outs. And the pitch. That's fouled off the ankle of Lindor. What's up, Lou? How you doing, man? Great idea, but you should do play-by-plays for the games that are on, not just for a certain team, because become more popular that way, no? In theory, you should. I agree with that. But let me ask you this. If I covered the Cincinnati Reds, would you tune in? Probably not. If I covered the Texas, if I covered the Texas Longhorns, unless you were a fan of the team, you probably wouldn't tune in. And you come back because I'm consistent. Because I consistently do the Phillies. And you love the Phillies. So that's how these things go. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Francisco Lindor. Other people that just do like random sporadic games, I mean, like you could sprinkle that in, like that's fine. But other people that just do that, it's really hard to get a following that way. It is. But when you stick to one team and one market, it helps big time on here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch to Lindor, and that is slapped foul and out of play. But yeah, I could sprinkle in, some other games. That's like what I'm doing now with the Mets and with the Braves because these are all now equivalent to Phillies wins, but trying to do that as well. NFL is different. Yeah, you're right. 1-2 pitch, and that is swung on and hit out over towards right field, and it is a foul ball. Not by much. Because so many watch. Yeah. Besides the NFL, though. Let's see again. Yep, that was just foul. 1-2 pitch. There's a line drive hit out over towards right center field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. So Bader's going to come on in to score, and it's now 7-0. And Lindor is going to be caught into a rundown. He sort of walked into second base, and he's tagged out by Bryson Stott. So he was jogging on over to second, and now Lindor is on his knee. He's getting helped up, and then they just go to a break. What's going on? I hope that he's okay. That's not what I want. But he is out over at second base after taking the bag. So that makes it 7-0 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. That was a bizarre way to end the inning. Random games equals a random audience. You are futuristic. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, we love JJ. Yeah, David, you would still tune in because there's people that love me, and want to follow me as I go. But there's other people that just love to tune into the Phillies. There's other people that just love to tune into the Sixers. Not everybody's like you, man. That's the truth. That's how this thing works. That's how it goes, man. What a surprise. Nola giving up home runs. Phillies paid him all that money. Why so? They paid him all that money because of playoff success. And if they would have let him go, honestly, it would have sucked. So they were sort of tied behind their backs. Leo, how would you call hockey off of from a monitor or TV? Yeah, that's not so easy. I mean, the people in the bubble, they found a way, but they had extra access to multiple monitors in order to make that accessible. It's hard to do virtually. It's almost impossible. You sort of have to guess, and then you can't see what's going on off the screen. It's not so easy. And then, like, when they go to a break, you're not seeing what's going on in between, and you have to rely on social media. So Lindor does stay out there, and he's still playing over at shortstop, and the pitch, swing and a miss. So no balls, 2 strikes already to Kennedy. Excuse me. 9 more subscribers, so we get to 4,200. Let's keep it going, baby. 0-2. That's high for a ball. After this game is done, we will be going to the Braves-Dodgers game to see if the magic number for winning the division will be cut down to 8 in the pitch, and that's taken for a strike. Or the magic number of getting into the playoffs, excuse me. 2-2. There's a foul ball. That's cool, man. That's so cool. Two balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. And there's a high bouncer hit over to third base, dug out by Vientos, and the throw over to first is in time for a ball, or for out number 1, excuse me. So Buddy Kennedy grounds out, and Yohan Rojas is coming up. Good day, JJ. Love your play-by-play plans. There are no play-by-play announcers here in Australia for the sports here on the digital media airways. I would like to get involved in the future in the play-by-play action here in Oz. You have inspired me. Thanks, mate. It puts a big smile on my face, man. It does. I'd love to have you on board, man. Once we hit that off, which will probably be in a couple of years. That's what I like to do. We have to build that subscriber fan base, though. That's what we got to keep doing. 1 ball, 1 strike, and we're in the bottom of the 6th, and there's 1 out. 10 seconds left on the pitch clock. And here's the 1-1, swing and a miss from Yohan Rojas. Mets lead 7-0. So we're in the bottom of the 6th, and there's 1 out. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Rojas, and the pitch is outside and low for ball 2. Maybe play-by-play for Australia football. Yeah. Or whatever you're passionate about. How about that? 2-2. And there's a foul ball that's hit out over towards the first base side, and Alonso gives it a look, and it goes out of play. Play-by-play is international, yeah. I personally will listen to any Canadian hockey team broadcast and good broadcasters with any American hockey team, says Ian Leslie. They're fun, you know? It's a cool job. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch, and that's outside for ball 3. And the thinking is, man, is that, you know, you have these great play-by-play announcers that don't want to give up their jobs, right? And that's why, like, the Merrill Reeses will always be there. The Al Michaels will always be there, which is great, and they do a great job. But you want to get another opportunity? That's why I did this. That's why I did this. Because it reaches out to even more of an audience. The pitch, ground ball hit over to shortstop, and the throw over to first by Lindor is in time. 2 up, 2 down. Not saying that not doing minor league baseball is great, because of course it is, but it's a little bit easier to get more recognized on here, and it's wide open. It just is. It's wide open on here. So here's the 1-0 to Schwarber. That's taken for a strike, just on the outside edge. Australian baseball, rugby league, Aussie rules. That's really cool. The 1-1 pitch to Schwarber. And that one is fouled back over towards the screen. Dodgers have the tying run up at the plate. That's pretty cool. Have you thought about trying to do what Tom Grassi does, but does not a copy, but somewhat of what he does? I'll get to that question in just a few moments. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch to Schwarber, and he grounds this one over to third. It's dug up by Vientos. He bobbled it for a second, then Schwarber beats it out. What a nice hustle by Kyle Schwarber. So that was a good play, and Schwarber put it in a good spot. That's what you want out of your leadoff hitter. He hustled out of the box, put it in a really good spot, and just took it the other way. He's hit the ball sharply 2 times today, but he was out. And then that little extra bobble by Schwarber, or by Vientos, I think may have helped him, but give Schwarber credit for hustling. So for now, they'll roll it as an infield single, and the pitch to Turner, swing and a miss. Have I thought about trying to do what Tom Grassi does, but not a copy? Yeah, man, for sure. Absolutely. 0-1 is the count. We're in the bottom of the 6th, and there's 2 gone. And a runner on over at first. And the pitch to Trey Turner. Fly ball hit out over to right field, and that will be caught just by Taylor for out number 3. So, no runs, 1 hit, 1 man left, and we played 6 and head to the top of the 7th. It's 7-0 New York. Yeah, man, I've tried to. I've definitely have thought about that too. That's another reason why I'm trying to do some more games on here, because I think that this is a good way to do it, because a Braves loss and a Mets loss are now equivalent to Phillies wins. So we can get other people to tune in from other markets, and if they just like listening to our play-by-play, or if they like whatever it is, then it gives them a chance to get some extra games. There's some people that can't pay for these things. Why do you think people come onto YouTube? Because it's all free. It is. And it's a very unique platform that's only going to continue to grow. And, yeah, that's how it goes. So, I do something like Tom, but I wouldn't do it watch party style, I love what Tom does. But Tom's been doing this for like 9 years. 9 years, man. It's been on the platform forever. And it took him forever. But he's on board. If you're going to do play-by-play, it is 2 people that can't watch the game. Try leaving who is batting and doing what, so your listeners can follow. Thanks. Gotcha, man. That's a good critique. I like that. I'll be driving when I'm in college, and I'll hear JJ on the radio. It's cool, man. That is a good critique, by the way, Steven. Top of the 7th, and the pitch, and that's taken for a ball. That's the challenge, is talking to the chat and still doing this. But it's unique. 1-0, and that's outside for ball 2. So here's Lazar on the bump. 2 balls, no strikes. And the pitch on the way, grounder, rolled over to shortstop. Turner has it, throws it over to first, and there's 1 out in the inning so far. Lori says, I live in Arizona and cannot afford streaming subscription, so I thank you, JJ, for keeping me close to my fighting Phils. You're welcome, Lori. You're very, very welcome. I got you. And thanks for the compliments, guys. Puts a big smile on my face. Pitch on the way, and there's a check swing ground ball. And it's a foul ball. No balls, one strike. And the pitch on the way is a four-seamer at 94, just down the center of the plate. So Lazar with 20 pitches. It's no balls, two strikes to Brandon Nimmo. And one gone here in the top of the seventh, and the next pitch is wide for a ball. Lazar's 25 years old from Coral Springs, Florida. The leg kick and the next pitch, and that's fouled off of the big toe of Nimmo, and he's hobbling and hops around a little bit. Then we'll take a step out of the box to try to reset. Ouch. Hey, JJ, I like and support PAS, the Dixon Way, Philly Halftime, Orioles Birdwatcher, amongst other play-by-plays. Thank you. Also because currently I'm unemployed. Yeah, man, it's once you get started, man, like, it's fun, you know, like, you do it, like, when you're ready, but, I'd love to talk to you about that, you know, would love to do that. 1-2 pitch, and that's outside for ball two, and the count is now 2-2. Lazar kicks and delivers. Ground ball rolled over towards the right side. Stott spins, turns, and throws over to first, and Nimmo is out. Not an easy play by Stott. He had to get down low with the glove over towards his left side, sort of shuffle his feet, and then almost lost his footing, so he had to make a 180 spin, or a 360 spin, just to throw it over to first base. And here comes Alonso. He's 1 for 2. He is singled and walked, and he shoots this one back up the middle, but Stott with the sliding catch and takes away a base hit from Alonso. Close, but no cigar. And we head to the bottom of the seventh. Harper, Castellanos, and Realmuto all coming up to the plate. All right, it is time for Phillies trivia. Let's keep it going. So we're going to the bottom of the seventh. This trivia question, of course, is brought to you by Ethan Baumholtz of Advisors Mortgage. All right, so if you are looking to purchase or refinance a primary residence, a second home, or investment property in New Jersey or Pennsylvania, my guy Ethan has you covered. All right, so Ethan is he was one of my basketball coaches. He's been an incredible mentor for me from a personal and professional standpoint. Has over 20 years of experience, and he's dedicated to making your mortgage process smooth and stress-free. If you want to give Ethan a call today, you're absolutely more than welcome to do so. Just call 609-230-5558. It is on your screen. His email is also posted there as well. And if you don't see it, it is also in the description down below on whenever or on wherever you are tuning in from. Make sure you tell him I sent you. And make sure that you reach out to him today. So here we go. Trivia question. If you get it right, you'll hear this. If you get it wrong, you'll hear this. Okay. Tug McGraw's nickname. What was it? Comment down below what Tug McGraw's nickname was. It's much more difficult not being at the event to do a play-by-play. In some ways it is, and in some ways it's easier. That's how it goes. Trivia ad. Oh, Phillies VR, thank you so much for your compliment too, by the way. Tug McGraw's nickname. I got an ad. Tug McGraw's nickname. Tugger. That is correct. Tugger is right. Good job. And then for those of you that got an ad, how about Dick Stewart's nickname? Dick Stewart. Comes Bryce Harper, and the pitch, and that's taken for a strike. Dick Stewart, what was his nickname? The ball is 1 strike to Bryce Harper. Quintana already with 83 pitches, and the pitch to Bryce, and he fouls that one towards the right side, and they will find the seats. Stewie, that is incorrect. Dr. Strangeglove. Jack got it. Good job, man. 0-2 pitch to Harper. Grounder. And it's scooped up by Alonso. Tossed back over to first base to Quintana as he covers the bag. Is in plenty of time for out number 1. Dr. Strangeglove. That is correct. Good job. Good job, folks. Time called on the bump here from Francisco Lindor as he'll have a conversation with his pitcher, Quintana. The windup and the pitch to Casti, and that one is fouled back over towards the screen. Congratulations to Lawrence Butler on being on extending his hitting streak to 21 games. The ball is 1 strike, and the pitch. That's taken outside for a ball. Thanks, way easier to follow. Yeah, no, you're right. I can't lose track of that. That's the number one reason why we do it on here. I mean, sprinkle in the comments, but you're right. 1-1. That's way up high for ball 2. Always looking for feedback, and appreciate that. I do. Quintana gets set at the belt and delivers and throws a curveball that's low and away for ball 3. Casti's 0 for 2. Grounded out to first in the first. And flied out to left. And the pitch on the way, and there's a pop-up hit out over towards the first base side. Alonso gives it a look, and it goes into the 4th row. JT Realmuto does wait in the on-deck circle. And Castellanos will call for time again. Quintana is 0-2 against the Phillies in 11 appearances until today, potentially. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and Nick Castellanos strikes out, and there is 3 strikeouts by Quintana. And 2 outs now in this inning. The pitch, swing and a miss. JT is lined out and flied out. That's 12 homers and 40 RBI on the season. And the 0-1 pitch, and he goes around. The pitch was in the dirt. Still a pretty big crowd here at Citizens Bank Park. Lots of Phillies fans still sitting in their seats. The ball's 2 strikes, and the pitch to JT, and that is on the outside corner for a called strike 3. And the inning is over, so 1-2-3 go the Phils, and we head to the top of the 8th. It is 7-0 New York. Guys, if you haven't done so already, please make sure that you like and subscribe. I don't know how many people we have tuning in on here, but I better see over 200 likes. And please, if you have not done so already, please, what was I going to say? I was going to say you're more than welcome to donate to the channel, but please please share the word. I would appreciate that. 127 likes so far. Good stuff. What was there was one other thing. I forget what it is. Under 28 likes. 242 people watching. Guys, we have 242 people watching, and yet the Phillies are getting blown out. That says something. That means a lot, you know? Thank you guys for being here. One of the sad things about the loss of AM radio was that local stations would broadcast local sports teams and would get a start on a local town or network of a 3-town or a 3 to 4 town radius. Well, now what they do is if the Eagles, because WIP covers the Eagles and the Phillies, what they'll still do is they'll have the Phillies on 12:10 AM when the Eagles are on at the same time. So they'll have WIP as the main game for the Birds, and then they'll slide the Phillies over to 12:10. One thing that we did at our college radio station was we had 2 channels. So if there was a Rowan baseball game on, that would be on channel 1. And if the Blue Rocks were playing, because they covered the Blue Rocks and the Blue Coats, that would be on channel 2. And that would be on the website. I think that more stations should do that. I think that that's really cool. So Quintana, his pitching line tonight, 7 innings, no walks, 4 strikeouts, and 3 hits. And his night is done. Phil Maton is going to warm up in the Mets pen. And he'll probably pitch the bottom of the 8th, excuse me. Today is Rick Wise's birthday. Happy birthday to him, man. 79 years old. Played for the Phillies, the Cardinals, the Red Sox, the Cleveland Indians at the time, and the San Diego Padres. 79 years old, Rick Wise. The pitch on the way, and that's taken for a strike. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike. First pitch was taken for a ball. Winker 0 for 3. Lazar still pitching, and the 1-1 delivery is a cutter that is fouled away. Was a 2-time All-Star, Rick Wise, from 1971 and 1973. It was when he was on the Cardinals, the second All-Star appearance. Pitched a no-hitter with the Phillies that same year in 71. 1-2. That's outside for ball 2. It was on June 23rd of 1971. 2-2 pitch on the way. Line drive hit that over to right field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Castellanos plays it on a bounce, and the throw over to second base is cut off by Turner. That's now the 10th hit by the Mets. And they were getting no hit up until the 5th inning. So over these last 3 innings, they've put up 10 hits and have scored 7 runs. Put that into perspective. The pitch, swing and a miss. Iglesias, 1 for 3. Got a single. The 0-1 ground ball, sliding stop by Stott. Throw over to second base. There's 1, and Turner throws it over to first, and he cannot turn 2. Lindor did just leave the game with lower back soreness, and remember when he was trying to go on over to second base on that RBI double. He sort of didn't even slide into second base, didn't read it perfectly, and then he sort of overstepped second and was taken off the bag and was out on a swipe by Stott. One out here in the top of the eighth, and the pitch is in the dirt for a ball. Tune in app is clutch. That's a good one. Don't you have to pay money for it, though? 1-0 pitch. And there's a foul ball. Hit back over towards the screen by Tyrone Taylor. Taylor's average is at 240. Does have 6 homers and 31 RBI. And the 1-1 delivery, swing and a miss. Jeff Hassan said that Lindor was moving around, quote-unquote, gingerly after going awkwardly into second base and is now out of the game. Wonder if it's precautionary, though. 1-2, and that's fouled away. I'm not trying to speculate, but I'm curious. One ball, 2 strikes. Taylor at the plate and takes it inside for ball 2. How about the Flyers, man? Matvei Michkov scored his first goal in the Flyers uniform today, making sure all the fans who made the trip up to Allentown will go home happy. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss. And there's 2 gone here in the top of the 8th as Taylor will strike out. Now it's Francisco Alvarez coming up to bat. Now foul that pitch back over towards the first base dugout. Takes a couple of bounces in front of the rail. Jack says also had 2 homers in that game with the no-no. I didn't know that. Actually, wait, I remember reading that. I remember reading that now. Surprised that they're leaving the leash on for Lazar so long, man. So 1, and that is in the dirt for a ball. Here's the 1-1, and that's taken for a strike. Anthony Sanfilippo said the fact that Max Lazar is throwing 3 innings tonight might mean that he's the guy who's going to be sent down tomorrow when the Phillies get Colby Allard to presumably start. That's a good thought. One ball, 2 strikes to Francisco Alvarez, and the pitch is low for ball 2. Don't forget, after this game is done, we're still going to be covering the Braves game to see if the playoff magic number can go down. Or sorry, the division number can go down. 2-2. There's a foul ball. Two balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch to Alvarez, and that is lined back up the middle for a base hit. That's going to put runners on over at first and second base as Alvarez gets on with a single. He's now 2 for 4 today, and Rob Thompson is going to end things for Max Lazar. Comes on in relief for Aaron Nola through 44 pitches. Went 2 2/3, gave up 3 hits, and did okay. Did okay today. All right, pitch and change now for the Phils. Still have somebody else come on into the game, and they'll be back. Ben Ewell says Francisco Lindor's back is sore from carrying this team. It's a serious thing, though. Tim Healy said Francisco Lindor is out of the game in the bottom of the 7th. He covers the Mets. He said it's the late innings of a blowout, so maybe Mendoza's giving him a few innings of rest, but that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen often. So maybe it's more than that. I don't know. Interesting. Jane said something before. I wanted to go back to that. If I were the manager, Real Muto, Schwarber, Harper, and Bohm should be only playing 1 out of the 3 or every other game, and let our backups get some life in them. Remember, we need some balance right now. So you could care less about having... So essentially you're saying if we can get the bye, great. If we can get the best record in baseball, great. But what's most important is for us to get the division and for us to get into the playoffs, obviously. Because the way that I look at it, I want it all, selfishly, but I really want that bye. I don't want us to play in the first round. I really don't. I don't want us to play in the first round. And we need these games coming up against the Mets and the Brewers. But that's how I feel. That's why I need them to play. I understand that health and injuries are a thing. You know, Bohm, I can understand like why he's not out there. But if Schwarber says I'm good enough to play, and these other guys say I'm good enough, I'm giving them a go. Phillies need the bye. I agree. 1-0 pitch. Nets taken for ball 2. They need the rest. I do not want to have to play in the first round. 2 balls, no strikes. And the pitch. And there's a foul ball. So you're saying that they can't win without those players here and there. They can, but is Wheeler pitching? Is Nola pitching? You know, like when are we resting these guys? Because that matters too. It does. 2-1. There's a pop-up that's hit out over towards the first base side. JT will try to give it a look, and it goes out of play. If we're sitting all 4 of them at once, I would not do that. But I don't know. That idea is, I'm trying to process that, Because I don't think, if they're not in the lineup every day, I think it'd be really hard for them to try to win some games. Can you really rely on Buddy Kennedy? 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the next pitch, and that's taken for ball 3. Yeah, but if they're going to play every other game, baseball is not like a game like where you can just take off for one day and then come back for the next. Like you have to stay ready, but it's all about momentum. 3-2 pitch, and that's swung on and lifted out over to deep left field, and it's now 10-0. That's the 3rd 3-run homer today by the Mets. And Harrison Bader, it's a 3-run shot, and the Mets are now in double figures. Wow. $10-0 New York. How about that? See where this pitch was. Right down the middle, and Bader squared it up and just launched a missile out over to left field. Three 3-run homers allowed by this pitching staff. And Logan Gilbert is pitching. The pitch. And that's a strike to Eddie Alvarez, who comes in for Francisco Lindor. 0-1. There's a strike. Just taken at the knees. O2 pitch. Ground ball. Rolled over towards second base. And the throw over to first is in time. And the inning is over. However, Harrison Bader gives the Mets a 10-run cushion. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Last time the Mets actually hit 3 homers against the Phillies, April 16th of 2018. 24-4 was the final score. The Mets scored 46 runs in about 27 or 27 hours. And the first one, the 24-4 game, that was the first of a doubleheader. It's crazy. Don't forget to like and subscribe, folks. And turn on those notification bell icons. I got some thoughts after this game is done, too, by the way. And we're still going to be covering the Braves-Dodgers game. So stay on. Don't you worry. Stay on for this. Because we got a lot to uncover. I stand on my statement. They can't sweep the Marlins with 2 of the 4 players I mentioned. And they're doing great tonight. It's not relying on the backups. It's giving them a chance to shine. Okay. I mean, it's a fair statement, but I just don't agree with it because I don't think that they can win some of these games without some of their big players. I do think that they need almost everybody out there. I do. I think, especially now. There's no Edmundo Sosa. There's no Austin Hayes. They're both on the IL. Bohm's not available. They're pretty short-handed. Schwarber was just hurt. He just came back. JT was just hurt. He just came back. It's I'm not trying to play with fire. I want to secure the division. I want us to obviously get into the playoffs. Everybody does, but I want us to get that. I want us to get the bye. I don't want us to have to play in the first round, and I don't think that we can do that if we're just resting other guys left and right, like on an extra night basis. Or that's how I see it, though. All right, first pitch, and that's taken for a strike. Second pitch to Wes Wilson, and that's taken for a strike as well. 6 more subs till we get to 4,200. Let's go. Come on. Come on. 0-2. That's high for a ball. One-two delivery, swing and a miss. It was on a curveball. And Phil Maton, gets the first out of the inning, and that's now the 3rd straight strikeout in a row. That's facts, says Prince. Yep. Comes Bryson Stott, and he takes a strike. It's a sinker that's at 89 miles per hour. Again, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. 0-1 is the count. 1 out in the bottom of the 8th, and the pitch. Nad's taken outside. Not by much. And the pitch. Fly ball hit out over towards straightaway center field. And that is caught for out number 2. 139 likes. Let's get to 150. Again, let's try to get to 4,200 subscribers. Dodgers game's in the bottom of the 6th. We'll still cover it after this one's done. So Buddy Kennedy is up to bat. We're in the bottom of the 8th. There's 2 outs. Kennedy batting in the 8th spot. So for 2. And takes that one low and outside for a ball. Buddy is 25 years old. And the next pitch is taken for a strike. It popped in and out of the glove of Lindor. Or of Alvarez, excuse me. Previously, he was on the Diamondbacks and the Detroit Tigers. Born and raised in Millville, New Jersey. Went to Millville Senior High School. Played baseball. And batted .493 during his senior year with 6 homers. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Phil Maton on the bump, kicks and fires, and it's outside for ball 2. Phil Maton, brother of former Philly Nick Maton, is 31 years old. He has a 3.81 ERA and 53 strikeouts as well. 2-2. And there's a little blooper that's going to be caught by Alonso over towards the first base side. Nice play. And now 8 shutout innings for the Mets pitching. And Vientos will lead things off in the top of the 9th. Andrew, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate it, man. All right, we're going to take the hat off. It's getting a little bit hot up here. All right, I'm going to take a very quick step off, actually. I will be right back. I do need to stretch. Cody Clemens is going to pitch for the Phillies. We'll be right back in just a few moments, all right? Stay tuned. Just what you've all been waiting for. Cody Clemens is going to go out there to pitch the top of the 9th inning. Thank you all so much for being here. My name is Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. We go on for Phillies baseball, Sixers basketball, and Eagles football on here. I appreciate you very, very much for being on here. Even during this blowout, if you are a Phillies fan, if you're just a baseball fan, or if you just love tuning in to me, that means a lot as well. Not saying that you can't do both, because obviously you can, but I appreciate it nonetheless. So Cody is going to try to make his father, Roger, proud here. Wilson, let's see if the Phillies have some defensive changes. I think Stott's going to be over at shortstop, it looks like. Kennedy is at third. There's Stott's over at second. Marsh is now playing for the Phils. Now, Stott does move over to shortstop. In the first pitch, and that's taken for a ball that was at 51 miles per hour. One ball, no strikes, and the pitch. There's a line drive hit out over to left field, and on the run to make the sliding catch is Cal Stevenson, who just comes into the game, and the Phils get the first out. That was a nice catch. So Cal's playing out in left field. Marsh is in right. And the pitch on the way. There's a fly ball hit out over towards left field. Stevenson gets under it again. And there's out number 2. So Stevenson is in left. Marsh is in right, and he's going to come in for Castellanos. Wes Wilson slides from left to second base. And then Stott goes over to shortstop. One ball, one strike. And the pitch. And there's a foul ball. Cal who? Backups, no problem, says Jane. I'm just saying, I don't know if is this really sustainable? Plus, like, when you're a player and, like, you're playing every day, like, you're so used to it. Like, you're not used to, like, you know, playing one day and then being off the next and then playing again. Like, baseball is about, like, you have to keep up the momentum. Like, you're seeing pitching, and it's like once you don't see it for a day, that messes up with your head. Pitch on the way. Fly ball hit out over towards left center field. Rojas just runs out of room, and it is gone. And Pete Alonso, it's a home run. Hopefully that wasn't a spoiler, Seema Fox. And it's now 11-0 New York on the solo shot by Alonso. Is that the 4th homer today? It is. That thing was crushed. So Alonso homers in the 9th. The ball is one strike. And the pitch to Winker is outside for a ball. One. That misses outside for ball 2. Stay tuned after this game. We'll still do the Braves game. The 2-1, and that's in the dirt for a ball. It's the same effect that happens with a first-round bye. Yes, but you're not playing in a best of 3. I don't want that. I don't want them to get bounced in the first round. 2 outs in the pitch, and that's taken for a ball. I play baseball. Nobody believed me that was a backup. You're on a team, and you start when you're used to sitting. You try harder. Is what I'm saying, man. I understand. I get it. I do understand. 0-1. There's a line drive hit out over to left center field, and Rojas will try to knock it down, and he does. Plays it on a bounce. Throw is made over to second base, and heading on over to third is going to be Winker, and Iglesias gets on with a single. No, I believe you. It's just that I just feel like I just feel like that still like messes up with your confidence, though. Imagine like if you're a stud player like Bryce Harper, like whatever, and it's like you're told to play every other day. Like, that would impact his confidence, I feel like. I mean, he'd have to get used to it, but I just don't think that helps the team. But that's me, though. I'm happy to disagree with you, though. The pitch. There's a fly ball hit out over to center field. Rojas is there, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. I definitely do hear what you're saying, though. And I take that, Like, you have experience. You do. I'm not trying to, like, diminish, like, your credibility or anything like that. I still disagree, though. All right. So we head to the bottom of the 9th. 11-0. We need Atlanta to win tonight. Good job, Cody. It's just for conversation, play-by-play with JJ. Some baseball players are too confident. No, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. No, it's a great conversation. I love having these types of combos. I think that they're great. You make a valid point. I understand what your point is. Any way you look at it, they're going to have to get some type of rest. It's just, when do you want it to come? I would rather have them avoid the first round. You think that they can still do it? I don't know. I think that that's sort of like where we disagree. I don't think that it's sustainable for them to put in the backup some of the time and just do it that way. I don't. If they were to do it, I would probably do it after the second Mets series, because these are important games coming up. They are. And I want my best players out there. I do. I want my best players out there. Now, if, Bohm is not feeling good and he has to rest, of course, he has to. But that's where I stand, though. But you make valid points. You do. I'm not trying to discredit you or anything like that. You do. You make very valid points. But yeah. All right. Alex Young is going to pitch the bottom of the 9th inning. This will be his 14th game. He has a .82 ERA in 11 2/3. And the pitch. That's taken for a strike. I'm talking about in the next 10 games. You mean after these 10 games? If it's against, like, the Cubs and the Nationals, sure. 0-1, there's a grounder. That's rolled over towards the mound, and the throw over to first is in time, and Rojas is out. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button as well. Phillies are down to their final 2 outs officially. So here comes Kyle Schwarber. Thank you, JJ. You always understand me. I do. I'm not. I think it's a really good. I definitely see your side. I do. I also like disagreeing with people. I do. I don't always like to agree on things. But that is like how I feel, though. The pitch. That's taken for a ball. If you're saying, like, after these 10 games, when they play against the Nationals and, like, against, whatever it is, then sure. But not against these teams. 1-1, swing and a miss. So Young is pitching. It's Alex Young. Phillies have gotten blanked through the first 8 and the 3rd. One ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch, and that's inside for ball 2. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Then I agree. Oh, yes, for sure. Like, 6 games left? Yes. I would rest them. I would absolutely rest them. And then give them, hopefully, the extra 3 days off if they get the bye. Yeah, I agree with that. That's fine. but not for like 16. Like that's too much. But for 6, that's more than fine. 2-2 pitch, and that's taken outside for ball 3. Young is 31 years old. He's 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighs 220 pounds as well. And the 3-2 pitch is down low for ball 4. Don't forget, after this game is done, we'll be recapping our thoughts. And we'll still watch the Atlanta game because that game still does have some sort of a significance for us. Any way that you look at it. 1 out and a runner on over at first base. So Schwarber is 1 for 3. Now it's Cal Stevenson, who's pinch hitting for Trey Turner. Came on the play out in left field. And the pitch is taken for a strike. That's a good analogy, Jane. 0-1. That's taken for a strike. So maybe a fake timeout game like they do in football when they are a top seed in their division, like Phillies are. Well, that's this game. That's a good analogy. I kind of like that. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch is low for a ball. Stevenson's average is at 286. The 28-year-old takes the next one way inside for ball 2. Colby Allard is going to pitch tomorrow, supposedly for the Phils. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Young kicks and fires and throws a pitch that's on the outside corner for strike 3, and the Phillies are down to their final out. And Bryce Harper is coming up. Destiny says Bryce is going to homer here. So the Rays lead 5-2. We'll go over the out-of-town scores after this. And the pitch to Harper, and that's taken way outside and low for a ball. Now we're encouraging ourselves that this is going to give the Mets false optimism. That's funny. 1-0. That's outside for ball 2. We deserve it, David. We didn't have so far in the 8 2/3 have not done so well, man. Pitch, and there's a foul ball. Thanks for the $2 donut, man. If you rest guys, get the bye. Don't you risk rust? In some ways, yeah. You do. But there's going to be some rust either way, but I care about getting them healthy. And giving them rest. 2-1, and that's up high for a ball. I want to win this, but I care about the players' health too. There's a fine line. But thanks for the $2 donut, man. Appreciate it. 3-1 pitch. That's up high for ball 4, and Harper will walk over to first base, and that puts 2 runners on. So now it's Brandon Marsh coming up. Rest doesn't assure health. But at the same time, in some ways it does. In some ways it does. Pitch to Marsh. Fly ball hit out over to right field, and that one is gone. And the Phillies are on the board. It's 11-3 on the 3-run homer. That's the 4th 3-run homer today, but the first by the Phils. That was a nice swing, too. Just got it off the tail end of the bat. And Marsh able to send that one to the seats. And he does cut the deficit to 8. Phillies still down to their final out. The pitch. That's taken for a strike. You do sort of prevent some injuries, too, from resting because guess what? Sometimes, like when... sometimes time does heal things. The one, and that's taken up high for a ball. That's why, like, you're not supposed to, like, work out, you know, and if you do biceps one day, like, you're not really, they tell you in some, you know, that you're not supposed to do it, like, every single day of the week because your body needs rest. Maybe that's not, like, a good comparison, but I don't know, I'd have to think of one. 2 balls, 1 strike, and the pitch, and there's a swing and a miss. They're grinding every day. Even during their days off, they're grinding. That's so true. Jane's right. Jane's right. Jane's right about that. Two, and that's outside for ball 3. Three, 2. That's fouled away. Recovery time. Yeah, that's the point that I was trying to make. Yeah, you need recovery time. That's why I think that Alvarado has actually done better with the rest. Because I think that he's recovered. Now that you really think about it. 3-2, and there's a swing and a miss, and that's going to get away from Alvarez, and the game's going to continue. Huh. So a drop strike 3. And Alvarez causes the Mets to get a 4th out. It wasn't JT that was batting. That was Aramis Garcia. That's a good comparison for real. Yeah, you need recovery time. That's a good way to put it. So we have time called here. Are the Phillies stalling? It's kind of funny. Now Wes Wilson's coming up. Alvarado looked great the last time out. Yeah, I think that the rest really helped him. And it's not going to help everybody, but you're not a robot. Jane's right. With the way baseball goes, you got to grind every day, even on the rest days. She would know that. The pitch, and it's taken for a ball. So 1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch to Wes, and that's taken down low for ball 2. Two-0, swing and a miss. I also disagree with that too, Jack. Is the easiest game on you physically. If we're comparing it to the other 4, maybe. 2-1, and that's a broken back ground ball. It still isn't easy. It still is not easy, though. Staying ready is not easy. Four games in 2 days. JJ needs recovery time as well. 2-2, and that's a foul ball. Absolutely. Yeah, man. It's a little bit different, but you're right. Ottavino is warming up. Phillies down to their final strike once again. And Wes Wilson is up at the plate. Check swing. Did Wilson go? They say no over at first base. This last out has been hard for the Mets to get. Young gets set at the letters, kicks and delivers, and that pitch is low for ball 4, and the game continues. And, well, it's 11-3 with runners on over at first and second. And Wilson gets on with a walk. And now it's Bryson Stott coming up to bat. That's a good way to put it too, Jane. Pitch to Stott, and he takes that one for a strike. He's 0 for 3, Bryson Stott. And the 0-1 fly ball hit out over to right field. It's not that deep, though, and this should do it, and it will, as Tyrone Taylor will make the catch. And the inning is over. So the Phillies do get 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th on a 3-run homer by Brandon Marsh, but that's all the noise that they make. And, well, the Mets crush the Phillies 11-3. Quintana is the player of the game, pitched really well against the Phillies, and now actually got his first win against the Phillies during his career, which is crazy. But the Mets are now 7 games behind Philadelphia, and the Phillies have to wait and see what goes on in Atlanta to see if they can get the magic number of making the playoffs down to 8. All right. How about that game, man? That was frustrating. Not going to lie, that was really frustrating. The Braves are coming up to bat. We'll go to the Dodgers game, to the Braves game, because we'll do it in the top of the 9th, okay? That was frustrating. That was really, really annoying. And to sit through that as a fan was vomit-worthy. It was so bad. Aaron Nola was terrible in that 5th inning. Even before that, he allowed a couple of walks in that 1st inning and did not look sharp out there. That 5th inning was atrocious. It was. I'm more so annoyed with the offense than I am with Aaron Nola, but Aaron Nola is absolutely on my mind. Nimmo hits the 3-run homer. Alvarez hits the 3-run homer. Some people are going to yell at Rob Thompson for not taking out Aaron Nola sooner. And in all honesty, I don't know what you would have done. I'm on Rob today because I think in hindsight I would have done it. In the moment, I didn't really know. But in hindsight, I will say this. You have Colby Howard pitching tomorrow, and you are expected to have to go to your bullpen, but do you do that in this type of a game? I don't know. Part of me wants to say yes. Part of me wants to say no. I'm very disappointed with Aaron Nola today, though. That was awful. That was really atrocious. That was so bad. 4 1/3, 6 earned runs in just 1 inning, dude. This was a game that they really needed to win, and his pitches were flat, and they just did not look good, man. Alvarez with the big home run. Nimmo with the home run. I mean, give the Mets credit, but Nola just, I don't know. He just didn't have it today. And was really frustrating. So, I don't know. That was a tough loss. That does not sit well with me. I'll tell you that. If they punch them in the mouth tomorrow, I'll feel a lot better, but I'm not happy. This was not a good start by the Phils. Quintana had 73 pitches heading into the 7th inning. 73 pitches. Heading into the 7th inning. And he ended up with 94. 73 pitches. That tells me that their plate discipline was terrible. And the numbers don't have to back that up. The Phillies had a double from Harper in the first with 2 outs. And then Rojas got on with the infield single. I don't really count that as a hit. I mean, yes, it is a hit technically because he beat it out and utilized his speed. But they didn't really get any more hits until the 9th. The 9th. They had one more hit. It was an infield single by Schwarber in the 6th. But they relied on the home run ball, man. That's not cool. It's not cool. The Mets just came into your town and they pantsed you? They pantsed you? How are you supposed to feel good after that? Especially with Colby Allard or Colby Allard pitching tomorrow. I don't feel good. I don't feel good. And tomorrow, to me, is a must-win game. You have to win 2 out of 3. I'm not satisfied with 1 out of 3. I need 2 out of 3 against the Mets. Really. And Rob waved the white flag after Aaron Nola gave up the 6 runs. And I don't like the mentality. But I also understand that you have your hands tied behind your back, too. I'm not trying to give him any sort of leeway here, but I'm very disappointed with how they didn't perform tonight. I thought it was really bad, and it's not good. It's not good. I'm not angry. I'm more so sad by it. You know, this was supposed to set the tone. You were supposed to set the tone tonight, and you didn't do that. You allowed 14 hits. Good job. Good job. 14 hits. And the fact that Lazar did go 3 innings, I agree with Anthony Sanfilippo. I don't think he's gonna stay up here. I really don't. He honestly didn't even pitch so well. I thought that he did, but then I realized he gave up the 3-run homer. So, but yeah, that was not cool. That was not cool. Terrible effort on all sides of the diamond tonight. There was no hunger in this team. The Mets came into town and stomped on you. They stomped on you. I cannot stand the lack of effort tonight. And the lack of plate discipline. They were swinging at so many off-speed pitches. Quintana didn't even have to throw strikes some of the time. And I'm not really going to give him a bunch of credit, even though he did do well statistically. And I know that he's pitched a lot better over his last 3 or 4 games. This is on the Phillies, though. I can't let them off the hook. They played so bad tonight and got their asses kicked. Really. At the bank. I'm just processing that. Nimmo, Alonso, and Alvarez and Bader had 4 homers and 10 RBI against you. And they were 6 for 16. The only guy that didn't get a hit was Eddie Alvarez. Everybody else got a hit. Everybody else got a hit. Two through 4 tonight for the Phillies, 1 for 9. That's 2 through 4 hitters, 4 for 13. Phillies with runners in scoring position. Tell you that stat right now. Want to hear it? I know I do. I really don't, but Phillies were 1 for 3. Mets were 4 for 6. 4 for 6 with runners in scoring position, folks. So, there's your game. Is the Phillies game over? If you're listening to me, you could probably tell that it is over. And if you look at the scoreboard, it says F over here. F means final score. And it says final up here. So it's definitely over. I don't know if you can see that or not. That seems like a recipe for winning there. 4 for 6 with runners in scoring position, man. 4 for 6. What else is there for me to say? They came into Philadelphia and waxed their butts on you. What's going to need to happen tomorrow? Sevy's pitching tomorrow. And Sevy, Luis Severino, man, he's pitched pretty good for them. 4 out of his last 5 outings, he's allowed just 1 earned run in 3 of those 5 outings. And then you mix that in with a complete game shutout. And then 4 earned runs allowed by the Diamondbacks. I think that he's going to go out there and he's going to make it tough for the Phillies. It's funny when people come on here and ask that. Ask what? Schwarber will hit his 500th homer tomorrow. What's he at? I don't even know what he's at. Braves just got another run. That's great. We go to the top of the 9th. All right, let's go watch the end of that game. See how that goes. All right. We'll do that right now. The good old Brazilian wax job. Yep. Absolutely. All right. Top of the 9th for this Braves game. So we'll change that right now. We might actually just do the. We might just do the Eagles game, man. We might just do the Eagles game. I think that's where it's heading. Just because of this one bad night. Because they won't be able to clinch Monday, so I think that's how it's going to have to be. It's unfortunate for them, but yeah. All right, where are we? Top of the 9th. Top of the 9th. Dodgers, Braves. Okay. All right, here we go. Freddie Freeman is up to bat, and he will lead things off. All right, so let's go. Freeman going up against his former ball club, and he will be pitching, or he will be up to bat here in the top of the 9th. Dodgers down 6-2. Now, if the Dodgers do lose, the Phillies' magic number for getting the best overall record also does go down by 1. Iglesias is going to pitch. And the pitch, and that's taken for a strike. Mendoza said that it's just back tightness. I think if it was a closer game, he was going to fight that one. But they took him out for precautionary reasons. 1 ball, 1 strike. I would be here either way, but I have not yet to see you call an Eagles game. Yeah, man, it's fun. We're doing the Birds, probably. Because the Phillies, I don't think, are going to clinch on Monday. Even though it's a big series for the Phillies. That's another big game. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Freddie Freeman. Iglesias gets set and fires. And that pitch is fouled away. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I have not even played the Chargers today. That's never happened to me on a stream. 1-2 pitch, and there's a little cue shot hit over towards the mound. Throw over to first is in time, and the Dodgers have one out in the top of the 9th. Ellie De La Cruz to the grand slam. 4 more subs until we get to 4,200. We'll probably get there tomorrow. Alvarez hit his 8th homer today. That was Marsh's 15th homer that he hit. Starting to rain out in Atlanta. And fans are starting to go back. The ball is 1 strike. And the pitch to Teoscar, and that is down low and outside for ball 1. Come on, Dodgers. I never thought I'd say that. Well, the Braves might be helping us out in the long run if we want to get the 1 seed. I still would like the 1 seed, but I'd rather clinch the playoffs first and then have the Dodgers lose, if I'm being honest. Kobe Howard will pitch tomorrow. Alec Bowman and Mundo Sosa are going to Triple-A for a rehab assignment. Bohm showing progress. Don't know what that means. This was according to Destiny Legardo. And the 1-2 pitch that looked a little bit outside, but it's a called strike 3. And just like that, the Dodgers are down to their final out. Tyler Glasnow had a setback today. Wasn't able to pitch in a simulated game, so the timeline for him to return to the rotation now is unclear. Comes Max Muncy, all down to him, and he takes it for ball 1. Zachary says, back tightness, bro. I'm playing through rotors, cuffs, and biceps, tendonitis with a sprain in my meniscus. JK, even if he's worth the $300 million, why would you risk it? The pitch, ground ball hit over to second base, and the throw over to first is in time, and that's the game. So the Dodgers lose 6-2. The Braves beat the Dodgers 6-2, and all the magic numbers stay the same. So Phillies, if they want to win the division, the magic number is still at 9, and for the playoffs, in order for them to get in, it still is at 8. So no gain today in any shape or form. And that's going to do it here. All right. I'm done. Anything else I want to say after this one? I'm really disappointed, man. The more you think about it, the more it stings. I'm really, really disappointed with them tonight. And I expected them to have a better performance today. And tomorrow, they better. Tomorrow, even if Howard's pitching, I need to see life with this offense. I don't care. So, Braves help us out with the 1 seed, yep, but I want us to get into the playoffs first and foremost, and that's why I wanted the Dodgers to win. But, yeah, it's sort of a backslap help, But, all right, I'm done. Hopefully tomorrow we get a better result. Not happy with this team. And I will catch you all on the next one. Good job, JJ. Love you, and see you tomorrow. I only heard the bell once. That's it. It was that type of a game. Phillies didn't deserve the bell. They really didn't. They didn't really deserve it tonight. You gotta earn your stripes in order to get the bell. Home run, yeah. But the timing matters as well. All right, catch you, Lila Tov. Good night, and I will see you tomorrow. They play at 4:10 p.m. Eastern Time. 4:10 p.m. or is it 4:05? I think it's 4. It's 4:05. Allard going up against Severino. All right, see you tomorrow.